Hello everyone, this is Marco and welcome back to my channel. Yes, we have just entered Jurassic June, the whole month where we celebrate all things Jurassic in preparation for the new movie coming out this July. And what better way to start than reviewing a Jurassic World Rebirth toy set. Yes, this is the first of the Jurassic World toys I will be reviewing on the channel, and I decided to start with this one because I haven't really seen many people talk about it. Which is a shame because this is a really solid set. This is the Mosasaurus Rescue Action Boat set. I found it on Amazon for about £40, which at first I thought it was a little bit steep. But then this thing arrived and this thing is much bigger than I thought it would be. As this is marketed as a Matchbox set, I thought it was going to be quite a bit smaller. All previous Matchbox set included a vehicle and a Mattel mini dinosaur. But this time they didn't include a mini dinosaur, they actually went ahead and made a brand new, much larger Mosasaur figure. Not as big as the mainline version, but considerably bigger than any of the mini figures. Complete with action features too, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with looking at the box. Now I gotta be honest, this is probably one of the most appealing packaging design I've ever seen in the Jurassic toy line. It really showcases the product properly. There is a brand new Jurassic World Rebirth logo right there. There's the Mosasaurus in plain sight, which is great. And you get a good view of the boat with a little vehicle in the front. We have pictures demonstrating the action features of the set, but my most favorite part right here is that you can see the water underneath the boat. And it has a really nice background of the sea. On the sides, there's the Jurassic World Rebirth logos, on both sides actually. And if we have a look at the back, we have the Jurassic World Rebirth logo again, obviously. We have a nice big picture of the set, and pictures demonstrating the action features again. There's not really much else to say about the box, so let's unbox this thing. Okay, so everything's out of the box. It was a little bit of a faff getting everything out, but we did it eventually. So here's what's included. There's this cannon weapon right here, complete with a trigger button and some projectiles too. We have this little raft right here, which is very light and it's hollow, so I'm guessing this can be put in the water and it'll float fine. A little Matchbox Jurassic vehicle, the lovely Mosasaurus figure, and this nice big boat right here. Let's start by taking a look at the boat. Now the boat is this really cool sort of almost military looking boat. It's mainly off-white in color with some grey elements and stickers on it. It has a huge bright orange or red crane on it and some black, grey and red designs too. Some elements on it are painted as well, and you can see some windows with some details printed on them too. The plastic feels quite strong, but quite lightweight at the same time. It's very similar, if not the same type of plastic, used on the Jurassic World vehicles by Mattel. I think it replicates the design of the boat seen in the trailer and the movie subsequently pretty well. I'm not too sure if you can place this boat in the water, it might damage the stickers or it will just sink. It's got some holes on the bottom. Yeah, those holes were the ones that helped the boat stay in the packaging. The ones that we sort of unscrewed the little black pads out of. But it also does have some very little wheels on the bottom too, so you can just drag it along the ground and pretend that it's in the water. In the back end of the boat, there is a sort of gap underneath where you can sort of place the Mosasaur. I think it's sort of a space where you can put the Mosasaur, I think. But this boat has something that I really like. It's got a lot of detail sculpted on it. Like these ropes right here, and this fishnet. As well as all this metal flooring texture too. Now there is more to it, but I just want to show you at the end because that is some of my most favorite detailing I've ever seen on a toy. I'm gonna make you wait for it. It does have some movable parts attached to it, like the big orange-red crane, and this section in the front that can sort of flip like this. This crane is really interesting. It's got some nice detail sculpted to it, but it only has 2 joints. Well, 3 including the base. The base swivels around, and that first joint attached to the base makes the crane go up and down. That joint in the middle is a fake sculpted in one just for detail. There's that nice detail as well of this little hydraulic arm. Right at the end there's a joint there which connects to a fake chain and to this sort of big prehensile clasp, if you want to call it like that. That's what you're going to use to catch your mosasaur. As mentioned earlier, this boat does come with a projectile cannon weapon thingy. It has a joint and it articulates up and down like this. It's mainly cast in this black pigment plastic. It doesn't have many sculpted details on it at all. It's loaded with a spring, and once you load it with a projectile, by pressing onto the trigger button, it will launch the projectile forward. This is pretty much the classic weapon that you find on sets like these. This launcher does have a peg hole on the bottom, and you can place it onto the boat in 3 different areas. There's a peg here on this side, another one on the other side, and one on the top right here. The peg allows it to swing side to side, and in combination with the joint making it go up and down, it allows you to point this thing in any direction you want. Just make sure you don't point this thing at your eyes or at your They've conveniently placed some slots for your projectiles here, which is very handy. Once you finish playing with them, always make sure to place the projectiles here so you don't lose them. But going back to the front of the boat with that black flippy plastic thing there, this is where you're supposed to position that raft. This is part of the action feature. When you flip it up, the raft falls into the water. Now let's take a look at that raft. As I mentioned earlier, this raft is quite lightweight and it's very hollow. So again, if you put this in the water, it'll definitely float. It's got some nice sculpted detail, but it doesn't present any sort of paintwork on it whatsoever. The sculpted detail looks really nice. You can see this sort of rope going all around. And you can see these 2 sort of engines here too. There are some divots inside or spaces so that you can place and fit your vehicle in there without it rolling about. The raft fits perfectly onto the front part of the boat, onto this black flippy plastic thing. Let's have a closer look at that Matchbox vehicle. It certainly looks like some sort of mercenary vehicle or military vehicle. It's branded Jeep, and it's painted with this metallic color right here. It's like a sandy brown mixed with some olive green. I don't really know what color that is. What color do you think that is? Let me know in the comment section down below. I was quite impressed with the overall detail on this thing. Although the lights on the front and the back aren't painted, it does have some really nice paintwork on it. There's a really tiny Jurassic World logo right there, and there's some yellow details and silver details too, as well as this tiny little black shovel and black door handles and such. There's some interesting sculpted detail on the top, including this chainsaw, which is a bit of an odd detail. I wonder if it's in the movie at all. I am quite impressed with the quality of this vehicle. Usually Mattel tends to get a little bit cheap with vehicles in sets. They definitely don't apply as many paint applications as they usually do on ones that aren't in sets, sold separately. So let's place the vehicle onto the raft and the raft onto the boat. Let's take a look at that Mosasaurus. My goodness, this thing is so much bigger than I thought it would be. And I love it. It's over 30 centimeters long, which makes it definitely longer than 12 inches. As I said earlier, I thought originally when I first saw the reveal that it was going to be a minifigure. But this is just the right size for me, I think, because I already have the real feel Mosasaur that was released for Fallen Kingdom, and that thing is quite big. I don't have much space at home, so having the latest Mosasaur design from the newest movie in this form factor is ideal for me. What I love about this figure in particular is that it looks just as good as the mainline bigger version. Actually, with slightly better proportions too. I find the heads on the mainline versions to be a little bit too big, but this one is perfect all around. Although the bottom jaw is quite thick around the back end, this is still definitely my favorite Mosasaur figure I own. They could have gone cheap with the paintwork, but they didn't. I really like how the counter shading is a separate piece of plastic up to a certain point, and then they painted the counter shading onto the tail and sort of blended it in. And the tail's got a nice sort of dark spray painted effect right to the tip, and there's paint variation on the spine as well. The inside of the mouth is a separate insert pigmented in a pink color. Unfortunately, the roof of the mouth isn't like that too. It almost feels like it's missing the insert for the roof of the mouth. I'm not sure if this is just on mine though, a factory defect, or if it's just designed like this. Going back to the sculpt, I did mention that the proportions look pretty good, better than the mainline version indeed, yes, but it does seem to lack a bit of detail. It's a little bit too smooth, but honestly, it still looks really good. It's mainly made of this solid hard plastic, but it does have some nice flexible material too. The whole back end of the figure is nice and flexible, it almost feels rubbery, just like the fins. And talking about the fins, they are articulated. This figure does have a button on its back, and if you press it, it opens the jaws, which is a really nice little neat action feature. So let's roleplay a little bit. Let's grab the Mosasaurus with the clasp right here, and bam! You just caught yourself a Mosasaurus. You're gonna eat well tonight. Now I'd like to show you the detail I was talking about earlier that I was gonna leave right at the end. My favorite little aspect from this boat. And it's right here. On the bottom of the boat, you can see some really cool sculpted detail. Like all of these barnacles, there's a few crabs here and there's a fish too, and a crayfish or lobster or whatever you wanna call it. Look at that! They did not have to do this, but they went above and beyond and sculpted all this cool detail in, including all of these really nice huge gashes onto the bottom of the boat, and it just makes this toy feel so much more high quality. So in conclusion, this is an amazing set, and it's probably some of the best stuff that Mattel has ever made for the Jurassic line. I really recommend you go and get it. I'm not sure if it's out yet in America, but it certainly is here in the UK. This thing is just that good. I wish Mattel did some more sets like these. Just imagine a Tyrannosaurus river raft scene in this sort of scale, with a T-Rex about this size too. Oh my goodness, it would be amazing. There's a couple other sets that I'm really wanting to get, and I have another toy arriving, I hope soon. It's been traveling for quite a while, but I'll keep you updated. Once it arrives, I'm going to do a cool review about it. So thank you so much for watching. Happy Jurassic June.
I would like to give a massive thank you to all of my Patreons. Seriously guys, your support really does mean the world to me, as it helps me do what I love for you. You help me buy materials, and most of all, you give me a helping hand with improving the quality of the content of my videos. Even if it's just a small donation, every little helps.